And action.
Hi, I'm Jameson Newlander, Alan Frog from the Lost Boys, and you're watching the Frog Brothers podcast.
What's Scooby-Doo running from a spooky ghost?
It's refreshment time, folks.
Are either one of these any good?
Do you like scary movies?
I don't watch movies.
I have to return some videotapes.
You have a TV? No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me Shell. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only...
Finish him.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Okay, I want channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and the Weather Channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Hello, and welcome to the 106th episode of the Frog Bros podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Justin.
I'm Alec. And I'm Nick.
And he's Nick. So,
when's the 2-year anniversary? Did we pass it?
sometime around now. We recorded the...
yeah, it was the 7th.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years now, but we're well over episode counts there and special episodes and stuff, so... I think it's just... We still just number them just for shits and giggles, I guess.
Yeah, the regular podcast, we just number them.
Let's just put a random episode number every week. Next week can be
every episode's going to be 69, dude.
Episode 33 and a half.
33 and a third.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The final insult.
Mm-hmm. So, the news this week.
Well, there's... my favorite news of the week is the news that's... isn't officially announced or anything, but it's like rumors going around, and they're pretty substantiated from what I can tell, that David Lynch might have a new film premiering at Cannes Film Festival starring Laura Dern.
That would be fucking epic.
Amanda Seyfried and Kyle MacLachlan. His name's fucking confusing. McLaughlin. Which it does not look like that, but looks like a McLachlan. But anyway, they were both supposed to have appeared in a David Lynch series called Wisteria that was being produced for Netflix, which was thought to possibly be connected to Twin Peaks or just be a David Lynch project in general, because a lot of his stuff is pretty similar anyway. Some of the genres, the David Lynch genre stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has to offer, and if it's Twin Peaks related or not, I'm stoked either way. He did a short film on Netflix that I recommend both of you check out a couple years ago. And it's a guy interrogating a monkey. And it's like an old black and white 50s noir looking thing in a train. And it's very interesting and weird. Because the monkey talks like this. Like he's weird and he's from a 40s radio show. And his mouth is basically the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan O'Brien effect.
I was going to say, it sounded like a Conan O'Brien impersonation just there of you doing the 40s voice.
I can't help it. Conan O'Brien's built into my blood.
Yes.
So he's a god.
Now, that sounds pretty intriguing. So was that short movie he did after The Return?
Yeah.
Okay.
It came out in like 2018 or 19,
Have you seen The Rabbit?
What's that?
David Lynch short film?
I haven't seen any of his shorts. I've thought about buying one of his collections of short films he has, though. They have some that you can buy.
We need to cover that sometime soon. If this actually movie gets announced and it turns out to be a thing, we're going to do some
You
shorts.
should review it around Easter if it's about a rabbit.
I don't know if it is.
Let's
Maybe
review it next
year.
week.
Nick, where's all your toys?
I didn't bring them in here. We doing that?
I didn't either. That'd
show
be a
and
lot.
tell.
We want to show them all off?
That's
Jesus.
a lot of them.
You know, you can show a few of them.
What'd you do with yours?
They're also out there.
Okay.
In my
All
bag.
right, Nick's going to be right back here. While Nick does this, I'm going to show some shit off.
Ow. Here's one of them.
Godzilla.
Which I don't know a whole bunch about Godzilla toys. I might send Jake a picture of this and be like, what is this? Or
Jay Key would know, too.
Yeah, Jay Key I might also hit up.
They're on YHS on Monster Island. They are kaiju experts.
It is marked copyright 1985 Toho Co. Limited. And on the left side, what does that say?
I didn't say bring the cookies, you goddamn heathen.
Shrapnel or something with a king crown, and it says Hong Kong.
I don't know.
But either way, it's dope as hell.
I've got a few things to show off here. So, first thing I'm showing off is my Ghostbusters Ectoplasm Lab. I ordered this from Amazon Germany, if you're still trying to track one down.
Did you see the Instagram comment from that girl? She says she wished she could meet a guy that could make her gush like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is,
I forget her Instagram
Jess.
name.
That's Jess.
Oh, okay.
She's a big fan of the show. Big time promoter for us. But
Good.
yeah.
She's a friend.
She can't find a man that makes her gush like that.
That's not what we're here to talk about. But yes, if you were following us on Instagram, you may have seen her funny comment.
This is what it looks like every time I get in the bathtub.
Slammer pops out of your mouth.
No, but something representing
the hand
my
there,
hand.
I see. That's a good hand-imation. You can replace that easily.
Did this not get a wide release like the
it was
the
one
trap,
of
like the Trap RC? Or?
The trap got recalled because the penis trap.
Well, that's what I meant. Is this
because everyone on the internet was like, "Holy shit, that's a cock!"
Why didn't they just take the fucking muncher out of it or something? I don't know.
And then I also got this autographed Logan Kim photo. He did a signing with the I Collect Spores, Molds, and Ghostbusters autographs. If you're not following them, they're a Facebook group. Pretty good. Quality stuff here. So, of course,
and
I
a
had,
podcast now, too.
Yes. And I had, they do a lot of interviews with the signing.
I haven't partaken in any, but that's just because I'm broke. Doesn't mean I haven't wanted to in a lot of them. So.
I've done a few of them, and yeah, it's just a matter of trying to budget in like what's essential, and then the fact that like a lot of these people are on con circuits. Like if I'm going to do it in person, I don't necessarily. I'm not a big fan of buying more than one signature. From
like I don't have an Ernie signature,
was,
which is surprising. But
I think he was sitting in study hall signing these.
Probably not. I think it was a private signing where he did those at, or no, they may have done that at a con where he just did all the bulk orders.
Ernie does a lot of cons. We can probably get you to meet him pretty easily.
Yeah, I need to.
Say at a con.
What?
Connor.
I live in
Is
the
that
past
Star
like
Trek
Sarah
also?
Connor. My favorite Nick Cage movie is Connor.
Con Air?
That was in that rap video. You didn't watch that?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, if you're not following us on TikTok, make sure you go check it out. Alex got some of the most absurd, ridiculous, over-the-top shit you can find. This side.
Do they have to go to TikTok to watch this, or can they watch it elsewhere?
You can watch it on our YouTube Shorts channel.
Yeah,
So
do
if you're
that,
there,
'cause TikTok's-
subscribe and like. We've got 3 YouTube channels right now. We've got the main show. We've got shorter content videos, and then we've got this shorts section. So
I actually can play the audio of a couple of these real quick, just so you can hear what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, let's give it a shout. Let's hear 1998.
Let's turn that down a little bit because I know I haven't adjusted the audio.
I lived in 1998. I got an N64 and this shit is great. I play GoldenEye all the time. Kooshball, Catwoman, all this shit is mine. I got Ninja Turtles on VHS, but let's watch Terminator cause they have sex. Order up a pizza, let's get goofy and eat it like they do in a goofy movie. Hold up, wait a minute, Goosebumps is on the tube. Or maybe Fuzzy Cinemax, I wanna see boobs. I'll settle for those awful Girls Gone Wild ads, cause I'm 12 and I think boobs are pretty rad.
I think everyone thinks boobs are rad.
Yeah.
I've got you muted while you're eating, Nick. I'm not going to listen to you fucking chew. This isn't mukbang.
Do you remember PlayStation 1? Crash Bandicoot was so damn fun. DBZ on the TV after school. Eazy-E died before it was cool. I live in the past like Sarah Connor. My favorite Nick Cage movie is Connor. Heinz purple ketchup and that Jar Jar lollipop. I think about this shit so much I don't ever stop.
Do you remember those weird like Gushers commercials from the 90s where the kids' heads would turn into like the corresponding fruit of the Gusher they were eating? That shit was whack. Pretty slick.
So if you're not familiar, Alec does a lot of music content, so you may have heard his music project, Another Green World. Are you done fucking being gross?
Push it.
There was a
hate
perfect
you.
opportunity to quote Jurassic Park and no one did it.
When?
There's a large, flat, gray button. Push it.
Push it.
Should say
Well,
push
shouldn't I
for
go
execution.
because I'm and you're a... All right, Nick's got some toys here he got from a childhood best friend.
Yeah, shout out to Chad. He's been my friend
It's the
for
Chad.
22 years.
Is it the Chad?
He's not that kind of Chad.
He's not Tom Green and Charlie's Angels Chad?
He just happened to be named Chad.
Is it the Chad? I'm fucking Drew Barrymore. You're all jealous of me. I'm Tom Green.
Just show some highlights in here. He's got the Ghost Sweeper, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good one. That was the last real
Street
Ghostbusters
Sweeper
toy I think I ever got as a kid.
Ooh, I should put Egon.
I never saw that one, but
Didn't they have an Egon on the box?
It lived in our garage for a long time with some other stuff, and it was not regularly played with. And he's got all these slime Ghostbusters. What kind of proton packs did you get in there? Are they the colored ones, or are they?
Yeah, some of them are.
Or they're the Wave 1 packs?
There's a purples.
Yeah, the purple packs came with the slimed heroes, so that's one of those. Yeah.
I'm going to pull out some selections here,
Got
too.
lots of the ghosts, like
pulling out his
Tombstone
quitters.
Tackle, the skeleton guy. I don't remember his name.
Beetlejuice. We got some Beetlejuice figures here.
Granny.
Head
Granny
spinner.
Gross. She's got her painting, a portrait of her.
Yeah,
hangs
in the firehouse. Exactly. I'm going to stand her right into the firehouse right by it. Like she came out of the painting.
Back in the painting.
This is the most awkward action figure of all time, maybe, but it's Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Eric Baldwin.
So doesn't the mask slide over that and his head turns around when the mask is
Yeah,
on
I
it?
think so.
Yeah.
Like that.
The zombie, Quasimodo, Dracula, or the vampire.
This ripcord guy minus the
Yep.
ripcord.
Rip to the ripcord because it ain't here.
Spaceman Egon. I got a couple Spacemans.
The gang's all here.
Got
It's like a fucking
Jockey
threesome here.
Well, that's what Malcolm was wanting. So
You're damn right.
Are you and
You two, you two swing.
And he's always looking for the.
And he's
future
the middle.
Xmas is Malcolm.
He's fucking Ellie while he gets butt fucked by Alan Grant. I think that's what would go down.
I mean, they can do whatever they want. And people would watch.
The
People
ma-
pay.
People, we can do whatever we want.
We'll have a coupon day.
the mailman.
Mail fraud, I think, is what that was called.
We have this sexy motherfucker. Look at how ripped he is. Doesn't that give you a boner? Doesn't that confuse your sexuality as a child, huh?
One of the dino trackers.
Did you show him Congo Winston?
We got one of those mint on card.
I'm going to pull out one of the Congo
Gorillas.
monster gorilla things.
Albino
There's
gorillas.
two of those.
We got Popo.
X-Cop.
He's a skeleton.
So I used that X-Cop as the T-1000 before I had any Terminator 2 toys. Which, to think about the toy lines we've had as children, Terminator 2 having a fucking toy line's pretty fucking next level.
I like that one where with the skin you could put on it.
Yeah, oh, that was a cool
Speaking
fucking
of
playset.
violent movies that have toy lines, here's a Robocop figure.
Yeah.
Minus an arm we couldn't find.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Robocop's not as bad as Terminator. Like, motherfucker, bullshit.
Robocop is worse.
It's way gore. Yeah,
he gets
way more
fucking
blood
blown
and
to
gore.
pieces.
I mean, I haven't watched the second or third in a long
and then
time, but
that
the
guy
first
melts
one's
from that
fucked.
sludge, and
Yeah.
there's.
Man, we need to talk some serious RoboCop sometime. 'Cause
Fucking
those are some
Otho.
fucking amazing
You guys
movies.
reviewed the first one?
No, we haven't.
Oh shit!
We got to
Let's
do that
next
sometime.
week.
We need to do that and try to get a copy of Terminator versus RoboCop.
Dennis Nedry,
The game?
ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Somehow.
We need to do that.
That's some of the highlights, though.
There's some good stuff there. That was an excellent haul.
Yes.
We've got
Definitely.
Planet Comic-Con coming up here next week. My birthday's next week. We got a lot of shit going on. It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah.
You got anything you're looking for at Planet Comic-Con for toys?
Maybe the Mattel Ghostbuster figures. That's really all I'm looking for right now, I think.
Nice.
I don't know if I see those at cons very much or not.
Once in a while, I've
Diamond Select, I do. But
The Diamond
Yeah,
Select,
those are
well,
more
Diamond
common right
Select
now.
you could order from comic shops and everything else. The Maddie
They're
stuff,
also more recent.
yeah, but the Maddie stuff you had to order direct, so unless somebody found them at some of the big lots when they try to clearance them all out, which...
did they have the props at stores, or was that order too? Well, no wonder I didn't find
That
them.
was
See
all
them at the time.
MaddieCollector.com, and they were $40 a figure because they were $25 each plus like a $10 shipping. And that was back in
I bought some of them
08 or 09.
originally, but not many.
I've got a lot of them. I've got a...
But not many.
but not many. I see two of them right now.
I got a bunch of them now.
Yeah.
Well, three if you include the 12-inch figure. Not to be confused with the Clone-A-Bone you have sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Any other news or shows and tells?
News? I don't really have anything crazy in the news, man. It's just been trying to get through all the prop making and stuff I'm trying to get taken care of around the
The
house.
Batman hits HBO Max in a week for anyone who didn't see it at the theater.
I will say before we move on to the movie review of the night, which is The Princess Bride, which, makes me want to... I've been working so much lately. I don't take days off, really. I need to have like a day off where I just wake up and I know I don't have to work that day.
I thought you took Mondays off.
No.
No?
Once in a while I'll obviously take a couple hours off because we record a little bit, so I don't work as late as I normally do, but that's not the point. It feels like I want to stay home and sick. Like that's what you want to do when you watch this movie. You want to watch it during a day where you just don't have anything else to do and you just lay in fucking bed like Fred Savage.
I had the brown bottle flu when I watched this.
But I was going to say something else news-wise, wasn't I? What was that?
Oh, the other big news.
I think you were getting at something.
Is if you are looking for the Ghostbusters Afterlife film score on vinyl, Amazon has it up for pre-order, and so does FYE. FYE has it for like $44.99 plus shipping, and they had a coupon. But if you go to Amazon,
they had a coupon.
It's $37.99 plus.
Is that better than the coupon?
Coupon
free Prime
day.
shipping? Yeah. It was 50 cents less, but you still had to pay shipping through FYE, and
we're gonna make a fortune.
Yeah. So I canceled my international pre-order on that.
Yeah, I was wondering
Here's
about that.
what I was going to say, actually, was basically just to hit up... There's a link in the description for this, no matter where you're watching or viewing it, for our Patreon. Go hit up our Patreon. This week, our Twister commentary is going up.
Ooh.
That'll be the third commentary, so you'll have a commentary track for Ghostbusters, The Lost Boys, and Twister.
How much is the Patreon?
I believe it's $3 a month, isn't it, Nick?
And how much value is these commentaries?
They're worth
$300.
$4 billion millions.
$300.
As we grow the subscriber base, we're going to do more content on right there. But Alec has been killing it on the TikTok stuff.
Yeah,
so.
TikTok. I was also going to say, if you're out there and you're one of those people who has a TikTok, just follow us at Frog Bros Podcast. Believe me, the content is worth it. It's all related to the shit that we talk about. I just got an Alf puppet, so there's some Alf puppet sketches.
I've got the same
that are
Alf
some dumb
puppet,
shit.
So those Alf puppets are going to be like a thing that we each do at home in our time alone.
Yeah, I have two of the Burger King. There's 3 Alf puppets in this room right now,
Yes,
if you're wondering. I need to get the other 2 Burger King ones. I used to have a set of 4, but then I lived in someone's garage for a minute, and the garage flooded.
There's a record store in town that has the corresponding vinyl record that goes with that one. I bought the one. I only bought the
that
one.
and this one.
They had that vinyl record too. I only bought the one of the doll I had because I wanted to be a completist and I didn't want to take something from somebody else. So,
well, now you know that it would have been more of giving a gift to me.
Yeah, but I've given you lots of gifts.
True.
Gifts.
Not gifs or gifts or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You're mashing it. Stop.
Goffs. We should look for Extreme Ghostbusters stuff at Planet Comic Con. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, but is that likely to find? Or
I don't know. You might find some of that.
Angie said she was going to get those figures. Maybe she'll still go back and get them sometime next time she's
you just
around
need
there.
to DM her and have her hit them up for you.
I did. She said she was going to, but she probably just forgot because she was busy or something. I'm sure she will.
I saw some Extreme figures at that place at the mall not too long ago.
It depends on what you're seeing, though. Because I need the Deluxe Egon and the Deluxe Roland, and then I need the House Ghost.
I think that's Sam Hain.
And it needs the European motorcycle import.
Well,
and the helicopter import.
That as well. And then I need the Trap.
Yes.
And then I'll have, both of the purple Ghost and the green Ghost that are not... Obviously, there's 4 Ghosts in this line. Sam Hain, Slimer, which I have both of those in box.
I can see them right now. They're beautiful.
Yeah. I display those in the case. I would actually like to get another set of those to display them out of box because I don't want to open those. It seems like such a crime, But they're so beautiful and I want to have them out.
Yes.
So it's a thing.
That's my thing. So I recently opened
there's
all
only
of my...
12... I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's only 12 figures in the line, so I'm like, that's not that bad.
To have one
to
of
do
each.
doubles of that, it's achievable.
It's 24 figures, and they go for anywhere between 20 to 50 apiece.
I open all my shit. I don't care.
Yeah, man, I'm torn on that. I've got all my Matty Collector stuff still in package.
It takes up a lot less space, too, than having packaged boxes for everything.
That's why I opened up all my Amber collection and all my Marvel Legends series stuff recently is because, for one, toy photography, and 2, just the amount of space those things take up when they're boxed. It's holy shit.
Plus, I don't know, some of that stuff would be cool to just, frame the backs. The cardboard backings, you could just frame some of them.
Or you could even put them into like a notebook so you can flip through them, like an old toy catalog or something.
Yeah, I'm not saying you frame all of them. I'm just saying a couple of them would be cool, though.
We've got a little special something in the works. I don't want to announce it because I don't want anyone to try to scoop me on it. So as soon as I have it ready by this weekend, it's pretty cool.
Do I even know?
It's Ghostbusters Afterlife related. Ghostbusters Toys related. That's all I can say. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of other news besides I'm enjoying Moon Knight, but we're going to do a season recap when that's
Is this going to be one season?
I don't think they've really decided on any of those. The Marvel Netflix stuff is now available.
Here's an interesting fact. Oscar Isaac has only signed on for this one series. He did not make a multiple contract yet. That doesn't mean they won't sign him. It doesn't mean he won't come back. But that is all he's signed on to do so far. Which is...
So not necessarily a plan for
possibly unusual for Marvel, but I'm sure that happens sometimes with people and then they still come back.
Well, you're looking at a lesser-known character and you're trying to build that. But they've done a pretty good job of introducing characters that people don't know and making them successful.
I give more of a shit about Moon Knight than the Guardians of the Galaxy because I've always known who Moon Knight was, at least.
Yeah.
At least since I was a kid, I did.
The one series that... I
wasn't super familiar, but I knew who he was. Guardians, I had no idea until they were making a movie, and then I
You know what's an underrated Marvel series, though, that not a lot of people watched? Was Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, they're doing that, aren't they?
I think it was canceled. I don't think they did like one or two seasons of it, maybe. That was a pretty good series, though. I was watching that for a while. I need to check that out, because I don't think I finished the second season.
When's Obi-Wan come out? Early May?
Early May, man. May is going to be a fucking drop kick to the television world.
Why?
Because Obi-Wan drops, and then we've got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness dropping, so we've got a lot of new content coming next month. Good stuff.
I thought you meant just TV related.
Yeah.
No, TV and entertainment. Anything you might watch on a screen besides pornography, because that's
fucking Disney.
Good. Yeah.
It's all Disney.
You like Marvel? Here's some fucking Marvel, baby. You like fucking Star Wars? Here's some fucking Star Wars right up your ass. That's what Disney's doing right now, basically. So.
That's Disney fucks you how you want to be fucked. They fuck you gently
sometimes.
If you're into that. If you like the hard-hitting stuff, they can get you that way, too.
Disney comes home while you're sleeping and is like, you up? Like, and just starts touching your ass while you're sleeping and shit.
Well, that's why they're doing
that. They
that.
fuck you slightly better than masturbating.
Disney makes those videos where it says, like, coming on my sleeping girlfriend's hair and shit. That's what Disney does.
That's fucked up.
That's Disney equivalent of porn.
That is essentially true, because when they drop their series, they don't like we're Central Time here in the Midwest. What time do those series drop? Is it like 2 or 3 in the morning?
2 a.m.
Because it all drops West Coast time. So yeah, 2 a.m.
Midnight, yeah. Their time.
Like, yeah, here's a TV show dropping at 2 in the morning. You got to fucking watch it in the middle of the night, otherwise you're gonna get spoiled the second you get on social media.
On
because
Facebook
everyone on the fucking West Coast is posting about it all fucking night.
Yeah.
Well, even like legitimate.
Sorry, that was kind of a rant.
Legitimate really internet news pages like are posting spoilers like within 12 hours. So.
Everyone's trying to get that clickbait on there. I get it, but yeah. Let's talk to Princess Bride. Let's get into it.
Oh.
You know what I just watched? Me pulling a can off some moron's fist? Return of the Jedi.
The Princess Bride.
When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews.
That alien quote reminded me that I watched Predator 2 last night. I forgot Bill Paxton was in it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he's in Predators and Aliens. He's fought both Alien and Predator.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
And Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has, man.
He got killed by all of them.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Is he the only person to get killed by all 3?
Give me a close.
Yeah, I think that's like an internet meme. So
fuck,
probably
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I just hadn't thought about the Terminator one. Just because the other...
He doesn't
more
really fight the
related.
Terminator. He just
well, yeah, he
gets
definitely gets murdered by him very quickly.
He runs his mouth to him, though. You got to say, I do appreciate that. Him like, fuck you, man.
Nice night for a walk, eh?
A little cold out there.
Nice night for a walk, eh?
The year is 1987. The film is The Princess Bride. Directed by Rob Reiner.
Reiner. Justin mispronouncing celebrities' names because he's never heard them out loud.
Reiner.
You know who Rob Reiner is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what he looks like?
Meet it.
I'm sure if I saw him, I'd recognize him.
He also acts.
Yeah.
He did, he acted in, you remember that shitty movie with, 2 people that were in Stranger Things, oddly enough. Paul Reiser, and who's also in an Alien movie, Aliens, and what's his face?
And he was in Mad About You.
Joker from Full Metal Jacket. What's that guy's name?
Oh.
He's in Dark Knight Rises, and he's in Stranger Things as the Papa character or whatever. What's that guy's fucking name? I can't think of it off the man. Either way, they're in that shitty movie Bye Bye Love from the 90s.
Oh.
And Rob Reiner is like the DJ of the local radio station Therapy Dude or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, we've got our main characters, Wesley,
People are like,
Buttercup.
what the fuck? That's the weirdest and most obscure
Reference.
Rob Reiner reference I've ever heard. They also make fun of him in South Park. So.
Inigo Montoya, Vizzini, Count Rugen.
When I was your age, TV was called books.
Yeah. The grandson, Prince Humperdinck, Fezzik, Valerie. There's a good fucking cast of people in here.
Yeah. We'll get to them as we get introduced to them because there's interesting things about all of them.
Now, a few things before we really jump into the plot of this movie, right? So, obviously, we're giant Ghostbusters fans on here. We love the pop culture stuff, but The Princess Bride has like this special place for like theater kids, band kids, hearts. I've always kind of noticed, at least for my generation, like all the kids I was in acting and stuff with in high school, like love this movie. It's their Ghostbusters.
I watched it for a first time in stagecraft class. So
yeah, and so there's just so much into it because it kind of has that. It feels like a stage production with the way the sets and stuff are. It's very approachable, very easy to watch.
Yeah, like you feel like this is a set when you're watching them sword fight, but you don't give a fuck.
No,
it's
yeah.
still fucking
it feels
awesome.
like you're at a stage play. Like this would actually make a fucking great stage play if you could pull it off. I don't know if they have or not. I'm not saying musical, but I'm just saying like a play of this would be amazing.
So you get the farm boy backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Once obviously you get the grandpa arriving and the kids playing fucking video games, which they replace the sounds. I read what video game it was, but it was some Commodore 64 game, baseball game, obviously. I didn't recognize too much. They didn't seem like they had a lot of recognizable iconography in his room. I was trying to pay attention, but
his room, it looked like they tried to avoid having to pay licensing.
Yeah,
so
like there was cars and shit I saw on the wall.
it's very generic 80s, but there's nothing like brand recognition, so you're not kind of going to get some of that crazy stuff you'll get in movies later on.
Is this a kissing book?
That's pretty funny. That's fucking Fred
They
Savage.
do a hell of a lot more than kissing in this book, Kitty. I'll tell you.
Fred Savage is the
You ever heard of anal?
Jesus Christ.
Grandpa, get the fuck out of here. We're tired of your shit.
Is your grandpa a dirty old man? Yeah, so Wesley, we see young Wesley.
Of course.
Falling in love with Buttercup.
Cary Elwes, which, let's talk about that guy for just a second. You have, at least in my childhood and from my perspective of memories, obviously you have Twister. You have Robin Hood Men in Tights. You have this. And then later on you get more obscure shit like Saw.
Yeah.
And then he shows up in an episode of Workaholics with Biff.
He's pretty prolific, man. Like, seeing him in some of the stuff, like he's...
Liar, Liar. There you go.
Seriously underrated as a performer.
Yeah, he's good.
But he's great in everything he's in. And he's completely different.
I like
Well, this is pretty similar to Robin Hood Men in Tights, I'm not going to lie, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same movie or anything, but like he is pretty, as far as
those are the
range
closest
goes,
two
those
roles
are definitely the two closest.
Which is funny because Dave Chappelle's first acting role was Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is pretty fucking heroic.
Blinken.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Blinken.
We say Robin Wright is Buttercup.
I need to get a sound clip from him saying, "I will always come for you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we go through that whole backstory though, and then obviously
you get Wallace Shawn as the
legendary
Vizzini.
Wallace Shawn.
Exactly. This guy is one of those guys everybody knows and recognizes, but you don't know his name. Not enough people do, anyway.
He was at our Comic-Con a year or so ago, right?
Damn.
Was he here last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before.
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people know him as the Rex from Toy Story.
Yeah, that's
very iconic. It's one of his most iconic roles for...
Or as Grand Nagus Sec from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
And Mandy Patinkin.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
Inigo Montoya, prepare to die.
Definitely his most iconic prolific, like, badass role. I think he did some of those, like, maybe CSI or Law and Order, one of those shows he was on for a while, I think.
Oh, he was the Latino officer.
Was he in one of those?
I don't know.
I have no idea what he was.
You're over here just fucking making shit up. God
I'm
damn.
not making shit up.
I know.
What I'm
That's
saying
what I'm
is
talking about.
I've read that at some point. I just didn't do a bunch of research.
They said we need a Latino officer.
Our producer that does not provide facts.
That is a
and
fact.
actual
He would have been in a
information.
Latino officer.
That's a fact, Jack.
Christopher Guest as Count Rugen.
Which Christopher Guest is fucking legendary.
He's good.
He's unrecognizable in this compared to Spinal Tap.
Yeah. You don't
fucking
even
unrecognizable.
Draw the line between those two.
Can we talk
performances.
about Christopher Guest for like 30 seconds here at least? Because that man is a god also. Fucking directing Best in Show, and also in Best in Show is unrecognizable as the redhead with the fucking mustache and the bloodhound. That shit blows my mind. Christopher Guest is a god.
He
There you
can
go.
fucking pull some shit off.
Yeah, he was on Criminal Minds for 15 years. That's what.
There you go.
And then the two cameos that are pretty well done, but their voice throws them immediately to the wolves is Billy Crystal and Carol Kane.
Now we'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah,
But their voices alone just are so distinguishable that immediately you're like, okay.
Billy Crystal's maybe my favorite part of this movie. I could watch that scene over and over and over.
It's so well done, man. There's not a part of this movie that you're like, oh man, this is boring, or we got to get through it.
No, this is one of those ones that, like, once I saw it, anytime it was on TV or anything like that, I'd have to stop and watch it. It's one of those kind of like.
Yeah, you drop what you're doing.
I could just throw this one
keep
on
this
any time,
channel
and
on.
it's a good mood booster.
It's a good flick.
One of my favorite early lines. I tried to write down a lot of my lines that I love, but there's so goddamn many of them. It's hard. But
this movie is very quotable, and like I'm terrible at quoting this movie just because I just don't have the.
No more rhymes now. I mean it.
I don't have the repetition of this one.
Anybody have a peanut? Anybody have a peanut? You sounded more like Kevin McAllister. The Kevin McAllister who lives here. Credit card? You've got it.
Andre the Giant.
A classic. Oh yeah, he's like, well, I just. Do you think it's possible that someone could be following us? No, inconceivable. Well, I just wanted to ask because there's a boat behind us.
Yeah.
The eel-infested waters, that shit makes me laugh.
I only dog paddle.
I can't swim. I'm going to do my terrible impressions of everyone.
I didn't take a lot of notes when I was watching this because I just got so into it. I was like,
Oh,
Boogie.
That's our mascot here, Doggy Paddle, and he wants to go swimming now.
he got locked out.
Oh, and then he interrupts the grandpa for a second, and he starts reading the same part again. And I like how they do it where it's just him voiceover still, but it cuts back to the actual movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, no, you already read that part. He's like, oh yeah, I did.
That's just fucking great film editing and writing right there. That's beautiful.
They made a Princess Bride PC game in 2008. And Mandy Patinkin returned.
Is he the only one that returned?
I don't know. I was just looking at his
Interesting.
list, yeah.
And then they climb up the
Wallace
rock
Shawn, Robin
hill,
Wright.
and it fucking Andre's carrying everyone.
Yeah. That's pretty comical.
And once he gets up there, they leave Inigo there to fight the masked man.
Yes, the Dread Pirate Roberts.
And I like this interaction so much between the two of them. And this whole scene is just a fucking...
This scene right
sets
here...
the mood where you're like, holy shit. All right.
This scene it's from a stage production, it's so well managed. They make great use of all the space in there for a little sword fight, right? It's playful, it's comical, and it feels real enough. You're like, okay, that did take a lot of rehearsal to do.
I could help you get up, but I'm not sure you'll trust me on account of I'm just waiting up here to kill you.
Yeah. And I like how they're both fighting left-handed to begin with. And
Yeah.
I too am fighting left-handed. I too am not left-handed. And you're like, okay.
I really like the, is there any way you'll trust me? And he says, not that comes to mind. And he says, I swear on the grave of my father. And you go into I will help you up or whatever,
Yeah.
And he says, throw me the rope. But then they sat there and talk, and he tells him about the story about the six-fingered man and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The white chance and you have 6 fingers on your left hand.
That's just good, because when you get to that scene later on, it fucking makes sense. And, like, they obviously give you the most obvious camera edit of the six-handed or the six-fingered person. You're like, okay.
And as we were getting to the sword fight, like,
yes.
I'm not a huge sword fighting guy, but this sword fight is fucking entertaining as shit. And it's because they're also having a dialogue, and it helps. And it's also choreographed by Bob Anderson, who choreographed fucking Star Wars.
Makes sense.
Indiana Jones, other big shit.
This movie right here, the dialogue is what carries you through this whole scene. The stopping, the pausing, the actual action sequences are great, but then I feel like there's a whole generation of people that went into fencing and shit just because of this movie. Like, how the fuck do I do that?
Probably. Like, all the techniques they're mentioning are real techniques and shit.
Yeah, that's very...
I don't know anything about it, but I that's what I read, so...
It seems like it's pretty well researched and, like, actual... realistically based on, you know, what you might learn if you're going to do that.
They have that classic dialogue, too, like the... after they both reveal that they're not left-handed, and they're fucking doing more badass shit, and he does that thing where he throws the sword down and then does a loop thing, and he lands and he goes like, "Who are you? I must know." And he's like, "Get used to getting get used to disappointment," or whatever the fuck he says, you know. I think that's it. Get used to disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he knocks him out, and he's like, "Yeah, I hold you in the highest respect," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, more inconceivable.
He's shouting at the entire movie.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because you're like, every scene is like the same for him.
Kill him your way.
He just
What's my way?
Hide behind the rock, grab a boulder, and when he comes around, smash his head in.
And he's like, my way is not very sportsmanlike.
Oh, and then you get another Chris Sarandon and Christopher Guest, which let's take a second to talk about Chris Sarandon, who we all know and love from Fright Night.
Is he Susan's brother?
What?
No, and he's so different in this movie, too, from Fright Night, right?
Yeah.
Just like the way he presents himself, carries himself, his accent, everything. It's like, man. Like
he's the Kane or whatever, right?
He's Prince Humperdinck.
Yeah. Prince or whatever. Fucking. Yeah.
Did you watch this movie, Nick?
I did.
Have you seen this?
Mm-hmm.
First time?
I don't remember royalty names, titles.
Eventually, he manages to wrestle Andre the Giant down, though, while, again, they're having a dialogue while they're fighting and being extremely respectful and shit. And you get to the cup scene, which is very iconic, obviously, and hilarious about the iocane powder. I built up an immunity to iocane powder.
Yeah, they're asking, like, how come you didn't die from the poison?
Life is pain. Anyone who says anything otherwise is selling something.
And that fucking hit you right in the feels. You're like, God damn it, how does a movie commercialize this and have it so right?
And then death cannot stop true love.
Yeah, that's just one of those cliche things, like, home is where the heart is, like that type of shit.
Yeah, the fire swamp, which just really reminds me of the bog of eternal stench from the Labyrinth.
Yes.
Also, can we talk about how Wesley is a fucking goth? I have a couple examples.
Well, he's wearing black the whole time.
That's first of all, he's wearing all black.
Basic, yeah.
He's very romantic.
Yeah.
About as romantic as it gets. And when they're in the fire swamp, he's like, actually, I quite like it. The trees are quite nice.
Yeah, it takes a minute to admire the beauty of the darkness.
He's into the fire swamp. Bro is goth.
Hell yeah,
and he's also the Dread Pirate Roberts, and he tells you that story about all the previous Dread Pirate Roberts, and no one's actually Pirate Roberts. It's the name. Good night, Wesley. See you in the morning. I'll most likely kill you. That funny bit. Yeah,
you forget how good he is as that character. You know, it's easy to walk away from it, but you see just the way he's acting with himself and with everyone around there, and the way he carries the dialogue too, which is also, you know, when you talk about him and Robin Hood Men in Tights, the way he can like break the fourth wall and almost talk to the camera in that way, where you're just like, okay,
yeah. Oh, when they exit the fire swamp, they get surrounded, and Christopher Guest's character, what's that guy's name? Count something.
Did you
Count
watch
Rugen.
it? Did you watch this?
I didn't ask you that. You're
rage
reacting to the wrong person.
I know. Nick just gets angry. He's just sitting here waiting for an opportunity to try to jab his back. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. stab the wrong person in a knife fight.
He would. He'd be like, "Oh wait, you're brothers. You guys sound alike."
Excuse me, I believe this is yours. He yells, "Surrender," and Wesley comes back with, "You mean you wish to surrender to me? Very well, I accept."
Yeah, that's a classic line right there.
And that's where he really gets knocked out by Christopher Guest too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, had to halt production for the rest of the day because he got knocked the fuck out. Had to go to the hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
a TikTok I've shared.
He was the one that actually did it because they don't show his like face in the shot, right?
Yeah, apparently he was. Then we get to the Pit of Despair, which I love. I love the guy in the Pit of Despair, the guy who's like taking care of him, you know, who's really fucking creepy. And
that
shit.
voice at first,
yeah. Exactly.
Clears his throat.
Don't try to escape. Don't try to escape.
That's amazing.
That's like that character has like Monty Python vibe, just the way he like presents himself, which is funny. It works very well for the scene. They're gonna torture him down there.
Yeah, he's like, I can cope with torture, and he's like, just the way they cut it and stuff, it works. It's just comedy, easy comedy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has the dream about marrying Humperdinck. Boo! Boo!
Startled me.
You remember that, the old lady? That shit makes me laugh every time.
Yeah, she's the whole thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're always gonna have critics out there, so 5 stars for one person is somebody else's 2 thumbs down.
Then they start using the machine on him. It's like some suction cups all over him and shit, and they're sucking the life out of him. It's hilarious. What do you feel this did to you? And he's just like, but he's like, interesting. Just like taking notes about what his torture shit does.
Yeah, like, what does this feel like? What does this do?
And then Inigo drunk. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking wasted because he can't find Fezzik, and he doesn't know what's going down and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fezzik comes up and, tells him he smells like shit, basically, and is like, all right, let's go do some shit. And then he's feeding him soup and shit. And one of the things I like is the narration of the grandpa's over it. And he's like, Fezzik took great care in reviving Inigo. And that's when it shows him grabbing the back of his hair and dunking him in different waters.
Yeah.
I need the man in black. And he's like convinced they need him. Yeah, there will be blood tonight and shit. He's saying some epic shit.
Mm-hmm. But they decided they need that 3-way team.
Yeah, they need to have a
They need that triangle, right? Yeah.
They need to... I mean, it's probably going to take at least 2 of them. Nobody's going to wrap their mouth around Andre's dick.
I actually tried to look up his penis last night while I was watching this. And they said there's no correlation between height and size and their penis. But I couldn't find any pictures.
You couldn't find any pictures? He didn't do any porn, huh?
You sucked that guy's dick? Go, Webb, go!
Good stuff.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so where was I? In my notes, anyway.
The drunk shenanigans. The epic battle.
Oh, yeah, so they decide they need to find Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
And then they hear the fucking screaming because he's being tortured. Really bad because the princess was fucking like a real dick to whatever, Humperdinck.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck off.
Just trolling him pretty good.
Yeah.
Really pissed him off.
She's like, basically, you have a small dick and I ain't here for it. And Wesley eats ass, so.
I mean.
Back then, eating ass is a big deal.
Especially in the 80s. Like nowadays, everyone does.
I don't mean the 80s. I mean like back in fucking then.
Oh, yeah. That's
that'd be some smelly fucking
they weren't
ass.
Clean, yeah.
Like, oh, you're clean? Yes, I showered 6 months ago. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Fuck yeah. That's like all the time. You know what I mean? That's like clean as fuck back then. You're like, I am eating that shit.
It's hard to argue that.
If you're into that, you are. Back then. I don't know. There was probably a lot less ass eating going on back then. Let's put it that way.
Probably.
I guarantee
Probably.
It was probably a real fetish. I mean, nowadays people call it a fetish, but it's just like widespread. It's like people
Like,
having
that's one of the most common fetishes.
What?
Oh.
Eating ass?
Ass
Just
eating is like such a
buttholes
popular
in
thing,
general.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
It's not too frowned upon because of that. But I mean, the people who aren't into it are like horrified by that shit.
You're
So.
like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell is this?
The hell are you doing?
Oh, so you two eat ass.
They knock out the torture bro and hide him under the thing.
Yeah.
Torture bro.
He asks his father to guide his sword. And then he hits the tree and opens the trunk. Down they go. They find Wesley's corpse. The kid interrupts the story again. Jesus, Grandpa, why did you read me this thing, he says. Because when Wesley's dead. And then they go, he's like, do you want to read this thing or not? You seem really upset. And then they go see Miracle Max, which is Billy Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, he says to him, I was fired. Why don't you give me a paper cut and pour lemon juice on it?
His whole exchange and the way he carries himself down there is just fucking unbeatable.
I'm on the Brute Squad. You are the Brute Squad. All the shit that he says is great.
Yeah, Billy Crystal and Carol Kane are just fucking on point.
I might kill whoever you want me in a miracle. He's already dead. He is, huh? Well, I'll take a look at him, bring him in.
Yeah, he's like, oh, shit, all right.
I like how he's just poking at him, too, and he drops his hand. He's only mostly dead. Which means he's slightly alive.
Slightly alive.
What's worth living for? And he pumps the fucking the chimney pumper thing into his mouth, and then, true love. That's stupid. That's fucking hilarious.
Like, that whole scene is, like, very Spaceballs-esque to me with, like, Mel...
Gibson?
Not
Yes.
Mel Gibson. Mel Brooks, you jackass. He just has that...
I hope you get raped. That's what Mel Gibson says.
Oh.
If they ever do a biopic of...
I was immediately going for a really terrible Mel Gibson quote, so I have to just clarify that that's what I was about to quote, and I stopped myself before.
Yeah, don't say the rest of it.
No, I wasn't going to say even anywhere near close to it, because that's a fucking terrible quote. We listened to it in our April Fool's podcast from a year ago, and we tried to react to it because we thought it'd be funny, but we were just so horrified that we broke character and just like sat there in shock.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So
Well, even those characters aren't that bad.
If they ever do a Mel Brooks... I can't even talk about Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks biopic, I think Billy Crystal needs to play him. Because
I need a nice MLT, a mutton, lettuce, and tomato. Well, the mutton's real nice.
I think that's what needs to happen.
Surprised they haven't. I guess he's got to die first, right?
And then he yells at his wife, "Get back, witch!" He starts running around the kitchen from her.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you, that whole thing is like its own sketch bit. It's amazing.
And then they basically convince him that Humperdinck will suffer.
Yeah, that's what they finally sell him on, and it's like, oh, because he hates Humperdinck.
And there's a chocolate coated. Makes it go down easier. It's just fucking hilarious. That's what they do with mushrooms.
Yeah. Magic mushrooms. That's probably all they gave him, too.
Right. And then he's alive but can't move. And they're trying to, like, plot how to get
he's
in there
all
and
like
shit.
fucking slumping around. They have to keep moving the whole body gag, the body comedy there. Chevy Chase wished he had this role just for the body comedy alone.
Jesus. He needs a wheelbarrow and a Holocaust cloak, which they conveniently have.
Mm-hmm.
And then they light his ass on fire in that cloak while they're pushing him in the wheelbarrow. And he's like, "There will be no survivors. The dread pirate Ramos is here." It's pretty fucking hilarious. Everybody starts losing their shit and panicking.
Yeah, they just fucking drop their posts and run.
And that motherfucker's just on fire. I mean, it's not really him, but, it's still fucked up.
I mean, it's not like Richard Pryor, who actually lit himself on fire.
And then, well, Jesus Christ.
Did he?
Yes. Booger agrees. Even
For
Booger
fun,
knows.
or was it in a movie?
I don't have time to explain this right now.
Why
We'll have
not?
to circle back and.
We don't have a limit on the recording here.
12. That whole bit. Then you get the one of the most iconic scenes again. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Where he gets to say it to him for the first time, and then he literally just fucking runs.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Chases him down to the dining hall, and then he fucking gets stabbed by the knife that he turns around and throws at him, which is a fucking cheap cop out there, but it's funny for the story. So.
And then I like Wesley convincing Humperdinck that he's gonna fucking disfigure him and shit, and leave him disfigured, and ends up, he's just bluffing. He gets her to tie him up, and then Inigo comes back in there. But that's after Inigo obviously does the whole speech where he just keeps saying it over and over, and eventually whoops his ass and cuts the sides of his cheeks, and he's like, beg, offer me money. All this shit before he kills him. Fucking brutal. Nick, you're always fucking with it. I don't even understand it.
He's
have you diagnosed.
He's over there reading his phone. He's just fidgety. He's like an unattended child, even though there's supervision right here.
Supervision. Oh, supervision. I think like supervision. Like Superman's vision. I was wondering how that was relevant.
Here's a moment of silence for Nick's attempted comedy. There you go. Alex got us. He's got us covered.
Superman has supervision.
See, now what we have here is a failure to communicate.
There you go.
Update on Superman. Apparently nobody gives a fuck about Superman.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Fuck Superman.
I would.
I would not. He'd fucking... Are you kidding me? He'd blow a fucking hole right in your ovaries. Isn't that what he says?
No, fuck. I'd fuck Superman.
Only Wonder Woman has a womb that can actually take that and be like a shotgun blast.
Sure, I'd fuck Superman in the butt. Probably has a tight-ass pussy.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't have a normal butthole? We never see his genitalia.
Would you not kill Wonder Woman if you blew a shotgun inside of her?
Holy shit!
Jesus Christ, Walters, there's just something you don't talk about in public. Superhero sexual.
Oh, man. Some of what you are about to see and hear is explicit.
As usual.
Oh, that's... Yeah. Anything you want. I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
That's
Classic.
a pretty good fucking
Great
line.
delivery. He's
Yeah.
great as Inigo Montoya because he's hilarious, and when he gets serious, you're like, you buying that shit. You're like, yeah. Fuck yeah, he's stabbing you because you killed his father, you bitch. Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
The balance of comedy and like serious performance in this is just so well balanced. And that's just redundant. Don't mind me.
I found these 4 white horses.
Yeah.
4 white horses.
All I can hear is the...
Credit card? You got it. Mr. McAllister, the father.
Did Andre the Giant do the voice for that?
He may as well have. This is his last
Home
role.
Alone 2.
Yeah, basically, then he tells Inigo he'd make a wonderful Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, he gives him some motivation.
Stop
They
yawning.
escape. I can't help it. It happens when you breathe deep,
You've
not
been
when you're
up for
necessarily
4
tired.
hours.
I've been up for 400 hours.
It's 11:11. Make a wish, Nick.
Oh, yeah. I wish for peace in,
Who gives a fucking
in
shit?
Ukraine.
That's a good way to cut him off. Yes.
Today, Junior?
You don't want peace in Ukraine? Stop looking for buttons.
Said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Well, that's pretty much the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You have the... and he finishes reading the book, and he's like, you can read the kissing part or whatever. And then he's like, Grandpa, can you come back and read it to me tomorrow? And he's like, as you wish.
That means he loves him.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It gives off the wrong vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As
That
you
means he
wish.
romantically loves him.
And then he licked his lips and like did this with his mustache. And then Fred Savage went,
Boing.
never mind. No, I wasn't going to say he Jesus Christ! Somebody shut this off. Shut us down now.
Well, Nick's not allowed. Nick's at.
No. We're not even getting theme music. This is just done for.
Shut these all off.